Now, today we have a Zono Sports exclusive interview with Mr. Keith Lunsford, who is a member of the Oregon band. High school buddy of mine out there repping in Oregon. I respect it, appreciate it, can dig it. But Keith was kind enough to come on Zono Sports and share with us some of the hoopla that's going on up in Eugene right now. So, Keith, we are glad to have you on, man. How you feeling, man? You good?
Hey, man, I'm feeling great. It's a little gloomy day here in Eugene. Not anything out of the ordinary, but the spirit's bright, and we're hoping to get it moving here soon.
Oh, for sure. Well, Keith, I'll start out with just asking you a basic question. We'll go through a few questions because Zoners, they want to know what you think because you're right there on the front lines in the battleground. You're right there with the Ducks, quacking it with the O, right? You're right out there. So I guess what I wanted to ask you first today, Keith, because you're so close to the action, and I've never been that close to a Final Four team except for when Kentucky won it all back in 2012. I was there on State Street partying with all the people when they were shooting out beanbags at us and tear gas and everything else. But we enjoyed that. So I got to see when they won it in 2012. But you're in it. You're at the school. So your team's in the Final Four. It's the first time in 78 years they've been in the Final Four. And I want to say last time they won that, correct? Back in 38, right?
Correct.
Okay.
1939.
1939. Okay, I was a year off. So I guess so for me, what I want to know, and I'm sure what other people want to know, what is the most exciting aspect of being an Oregon Duck and not knowing your team could potentially, knowing your team could potentially win the national championship? What's the most exciting aspect about that?
Just the overall spirit of being a Duck is kind of unique in the sort of you get so many different kinds of people and students that come together and they all want to wear green and yellow and they all want to cheer and they all want to yell for the fight song and they all want to just be in the moment and experience what it's like to just flat out win games and be a part of something special.
Go ahead, Keith. I'm sorry.
Today I was in the grocery store actually, and I was getting bread, and I saw a guy with an old school duck jacket, like starter style, and with an old school Rose Bowl.
Those are old school. The Ashy Boy. Those need lotion.
Yeah, old school. The black bill with the snap in the back. Yeah, and I almost kind of ran into him, and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And then I quickly, I said, "Go Ducks," because I noticed his stuff. And, he was like, "Oh, yeah, go Ducks." And his wife laughed. And that's kind of the narrative around here. Anything is go Ducks. It's a really cool thing to be a part of.
Oh, for sure. I guess it's kind of like it's a moment of nostalgia for the town just because if you think about it, Oregon hasn't had much success in sports since the Chip Kelly days. I mean, because Mark Helfrich, he tried. But, they tried to continue to win the day, but those days became loss after loss after loss. They could only do so much with Mr. Royce Freeman last year. But this is obviously big for the school. Now, what I wanted to ask you also, what's the mood like on campus there in Eugene right now?
It's the spirits. The spirits is probably about as high as I've seen it in a long time. It's everybody's repping. Everybody's getting to the bookstore to get stuff, and it's just the spirit's really high.
Oh, I bet those bookstore sales are up. They're all the way up. Yep. I already know for sure, man. Well, now everybody that watched that game, Oregon versus who they beat the other night, Kansas. Everybody that watched that game, I saw an outstanding performance by Jordan Bell. I told everybody. That man, that night, made a lot of money for his family. I saw him on his Instagram. He has a little girl. So, obviously there's some extrinsic value as well for what he's playing for. But with that being said, what is it like coming back to campus on a Monday and interacting with some of the players after this immense amount of success? How's that?
Yeah, it's funny. I guess it's glad it's spring break because it would have been even crazier to go back to class and that's all you can talk about all day. So Jordan Bell put on a show. Now he's the all-time Duck leading blocks and rebounds per game. And his narrative is kind of like Stuart Scott with a basketball in his hand. He's as cool as the other side of the pillow.
Okay.
He also brings a lot of passion when he hits the court. It's really awesome to see his just cool swagger on the court, and just the way he plays the game. It's a real natural ability for him. And he just turns it on.
For sure. Now Tyler Dorsey, he told us to wake up after the game the other night. Now I wasn't asleep. I saw what he said. He told us to wake up. Why does he think we were even asleep out here on the East Coast in the first place? Because we watched their games, but why does he feel like that, huh? I want to know that.
I think he felt that a lot of people had us out after we lost Chris, and so they were still kind of on the fence about us even before. They knew we were a tough team and a team you had to go through, but
I'm not gonna lie. I even doubted you guys when Boucher went down because I picked Oregon over you guys. I mean, excuse me, I picked Rhode Island over you guys. I did. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
And you guys escaped butt naked with church socks on. I mean, it was.
It was. We turned it on when we needed to. People even doubted it. They even doubted us against Iona. They didn't know what Iona was going to bring to the table. Nobody,
because they can score.
Everybody was scrambling to see what they were about. And it seemed like every game it was like, well, what Oregon team are we going to see? And we got the good version. We got the version that we all know and love.
For sure. Well, I will tell you, Tyler Dorsey and Jordan Bell, that combination, and then I can't forget about Mr. DB Dylan Brooks. I can't forget about the man. I mean, you got the picture of him as your profile. I'm sure he seems like a cool guy. He probably feels a little more swagged out because Drake gets love from Canada, so it's cool to be from Canada right now. But tell me about Dylan Brooks. How is he?
He's good. He's the man. He's the man atop the heat. He's the big man on campus.
BMOC.
When you average 17 points a game, and you flat out just win games for your team, at home and on the road. He had the big three against UCLA,
sure.
Then, he followed it up a few weeks later with the big three against Cal on the road. He's flat out silencing people that say that this team can't play with the big dogs.
I feel you.
So and he's a flat out nice guy. Being in the band, I asked him one day when we were getting ready for that Army game, and I was like, "Hey, Jordan, can I get a picture?" And he said, "Yeah, sure, bud."
You mean Dylan?
Yeah, sorry, Dylan. Yeah.
But yeah,
he's a great guy.
That's cool.
Definitely, like I said, big man on campus right now.
For sure. Well, also what I wanted to ask you, how are students at this point? Obviously, you guys you're in the Final Four. You know you guys are going to be in Phoenix. Larry Fitzgerald will be there. Lil Wayne will probably be there. Jay-Z, B might not be there. She's pregnant. But everybody will be there in Phoenix. I know you guys will be there. How are students prepping for the Final Four travel plans? And what are you doing specifically to make sure that you're there at the Final Four if you're going?
Yeah. A lot of students are setting out, in the next couple of days or so, getting hotel reservations and flight reservations and all that stuff. I actually, unfortunately, cannot go. I'll be here, staying home in Eugene. I'm going to hit the campus spot.
Oh, it'll still be lit. It'll still be lit. You know that.
Oh, it's going to be crazy. And we're gonna have a good time.
For sure.
It's gonna get rowdy. We're all gonna be eating food and screaming at the TV, as I like to say. For sure. Well, I will tell you this. I mean, I'm a little inclined to maybe start pulling for Oregon just because you're my boy and you came and did this for me. Now, the one thing I want to ask you before you go, will it be considered a failure with all of this year's success and the star players from the past 2 or 3 years if Oregon does not bring home the chip? Because you got a lot of good teams. You got Gonzaga, North Carolina, and of course South Carolina's hot. Like Cheetos in the bag in the hood. When you pull your hands out and they're all red. They are hot. So what will it be a failure if you guys don't get to that? Because, I mean, you guys had Cook, Mr. Benjamin. I mean, you guys have – Dana Altman's had players the last few years, but he has not been able to get the big one. Yeah, I don't think it'll be a failure at all because We set another school record in wins,
Mm-hmm.
an undefeated season at home. You know, winning the Pac-12 conference in the regular season for the second straight year in a row. You know, being the second year in a row, or 3 out of the last 4 actually, Pac-12 championship games. You know, unfortunately, we couldn't get the W against Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted revenge after we embarrassed them at home. But you know, that's kind of the way it goes. And that was, you know, the day we lost Chris, so that's unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, this season has been remarkable. It's another testament in Dana Altman's coaching career. He has done an outstanding job with how he's brought on this program and continued to elevate all the success, and not only for the program but for the school entirely. I mean, you know, sports really does put, you know, schools on the map, and this is just another chapter.
For sure.
We'll look forward to bringing home a championship, but it starts with North Carolina at 5:45 on Saturday night.
You got to deal with Kennedy Meeks, Justin Jackson, Joe Barry from 3. Oregon's got to come out and play well.
And Roy's a fantastic coach.
He is.
You know, he's the only coach right now that's got Final Four experience.
Yeah.
So it's going to be tough.
Roy could be the 6th coach to win 3 national championships, and you know he should have 4. But you know, we all remember Hakeem Warwick at the buzzer against Kansas back in 2003. You know, it cost him 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be a tough game. But I will tell you, Oregon's got a lot of talent. And I look forward to seeing what they do. And Keith, I want to tell you specifically, thank you so much for coming on Zono Sports and sharing some of that Eugene, Oregon Duck wisdom with me and the rest of my fans. And definitely, I do appreciate you doing this for me, man. And I hope you enjoy the games, and go Ducks for sure.
Yeah, go Ducks. I appreciate it. Thanks, Lonzo. I appreciate it.
No, that's no problem, Keith, man. Hey, you take care, okay, man?
You too, man. We'll see you later.
All right,
Go
thanks,
Ducks.
man. Yeah, go Ducks.